Well, when I was little, my dad built a boat. It was made of mahogany, and it looked a lot like a Chris Craft. And he built it very deep because he had little kids at the time, and he didn't want us to fall out in the middle of a lake, which we thought was, thoughtful of him. But our favorite thing to do in the summer was to take that boat down the Ohio River, because my grandparents retired on Kentucky Lake, and we could go by boat to my grandmother's house and hike up the road to her little cabin, and it was just fabulous. It took 6 hours on the river. And a lot of times friends went with us, and we went in a big caravan of boats, and it was totally fun. Skied all the way down the river. Well, one time we had gone down to Grandma's on the boat and parked the boat at the dock in the little resort where they stayed, and had a fine visit with Grandma and Grandpa, swimming and hiking and so forth. And a lot of friends were along with us that time, and I was in about 7th grade at the time. And on Sunday afternoon, we were going to make the trip back up the river to home. So we all went down to the dock and got onto our boats, and everyone was loaded up and ready to go. And my favorite place to sit on my dad's boat, it was an inboard, and so it had a big engine box right in the middle of the boat, and that's where I always sat, was on top of the engine box. So I got settled on top of the engine box, and the young mother in the next boat called out to me and said, "Hey, do you want to ride with us and help me with the kids?" Because they had 2 little bitty kids. So I hopped off thinking, I was pretty cool. I was going to be the babysitter, and jumped onto their boat to help with 2 little children. And just as I looked back at our boat, my dad turned the key to start the boat. Well, what Dad hadn't figured for when he built that boat was that in that deep hole under that engine box, if anything at all leaked, gas fumes could accumulate. And when he turned that key to spark the engine, the gas fumes that had accumulated up under there blew. And that engine box, which I had just been sitting on, went straight up into the air, split into pieces, and came back down into the boat. And in the meantime, my dad, who was standing in front of the engine box, realizing that the boat was suddenly exploding and on fire, and his leg was burning, bailed over the front end of that high boat into the lake. My mother, who was sitting on the back of the boat, flipped off over into the water off the back end, and my cousin and my brother jumped out each side, leaving the very short little dachshund down in the bottom of the boat with the fire. At that point, someone yelled, "The dog!" And my dad, now remember, this was a very high boat, so the children could not fall out, sitting in the water where there was no bottom for my father to push off against. But we watched my father, in a very Incredible Hulk kind of fashion, bail straight back up out of the water, over the top of the boat, in the boat, grab the dog, and throw her before he bailed out again.